Hey everyone. Hey Kayla. Hey Butterfly Kisses. Hey Music City Mom. Hey Dan. Can everyone hear me okay? Hey Abra. I'm sorry guys. I've been MIA for a couple days. I just had like the most stressful month, but it ended up turning out pretty good, and I will share a little bit, but I don't want to like share too much because I'm not, it's not really like my place, but well, I can't share everything because it's not all my place, but probably about like, you guys can hear me, right? Probably about like a month ago, we found out that my hubby's daughter's mom passed, and she's the same age as my son. She's 7, and we hadn't seen her in a little while because of some unforeseen circumstances, and it's hard to hear me. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me try turning my mic up. Hold on. All right, hopefully you guys can hear. Oh, it's okay, Parker. I go from okay to a little quiet. Is it quiet now? I turned my mic up. Hopefully you guys can hear. Oh, that's why. Well, anyways, we were preparing for like a whole month to see her, and finally got to see her over the weekend, and it just went all well, and everything was good, and we just thanks Boston. It's just been rough, but it's looking like things are getting better now, and we're like we have to like revamp our house now, and we have like an extra room, but it's not really like made to be a bedroom, so we're gonna be redoing all that, and the end game is that she comes and stays with us permanently, so we're excited about it. And it was a good weekend. So I was gone for most of the week preparing for all that. But this case, so I don't know if anyone watched the other night when I covered Madeline. Oh, no. So his daughter's alive, but her mom passed. And she was living with her mom. So, she'll be living with us soon, which we're really happy about. Hi, Mad Miss Hatter. Oh, well, welcome. I love having new subs in here, and I appreciate it. I know it's been rough, but like we had so much fun this weekend. It was just so good. We went. I'm swimmed out, like put it that way. And we're gonna go up and visit her in like 2 weeks, and they live in like this log cabin on a lake. So we're like super excited about it. And but the other day when I was talking about Madeline I always say this wrong, Pandoha. I think it's how you say it. The girl who was allegedly killed by her boyfriend Mario. At the end, I covered just quickly went over this case of this girl Chase Stafford from Tennessee. Well, she's from the same area as the girl that I am covering tonight. And this happened like a couple weeks ago, in the beginning of May. And like, I was meaning to cover it when I did Chase, but the Madeline stuff broke then. So I was going to do Chase and her together because they were from the same area. But the Madeline stuff broke then, so I did Madeline and her together. And so I didn't really get a chance to cover this. But in a nutshell, this happened around the same time. And there's kind of been like a renewed sense of urgency now because police are admitting that she is potentially in a dangerous situation and they think something bad happened. And now, it's starting to get like pretty serious. But in a nutshell, this woman, Nikki Alcaraz, I think I don't know if her maiden name was Alcaraz, but she also has a Facebook, Nikki Cunningham, which is her ex-husband's last name. Thank you, Mad Miss Hatter. Thank you. I appreciate it. I wish I could show you guys pictures from the weekend, but I'm not about sharing kids' pictures on here, but they're just so cute. But anyways, so she was living with her boyfriend, Tyler. Now, from what I've heard, and I can't really confirm this, but this is just what people are saying, is that her and Tyler have been in an on and off relationship for like a long time, and that he's actually the dad of her oldest son. And I'm not completely like 100% sure of this. Oh no. Oh yeah, so Music City Mom and chat, her nephew is in the same class as Nikki's son. Yes, it's very suspect. It sounds very much like a whole like Gabby Petito type thing. She has children. Now, okay, so I saw on the internet her friend said that she had broke up with Evan, who was her ex-husband, in October. Like they filed for divorce in October, and that she started dating Tyler in November. But I have heard that she was with Tyler before, and they've had kind of like on and off relationships over time. So I don't know if they've been together for that, like if they were together for that long and it was on and off or what. But that's just what I heard. Well, anyway, from what I've seen from his pages, he has like posts about like hobo lifestyle. So I don't know if they were homeless, but I did see a comment of somebody saying that they were like living at a hotel in Nashville before they had left. And then they decided to drive. Okay, all right. So I'm probably, maybe I'm right then, because technically Tyler is missing too, but it seems as if his family hasn't filed a missing persons report on him, and they are no longer communicating with police, is what I heard. I've heard that Tyler's family has ceased all contact with police, and that they didn't file a missing persons report. But then I also seen that his mom filed a missing persons report with TBI. So I don't know. I don't know really what's going on in that sense. But like I don't know if they did or didn't, but I've been hearing that maybe they were planning to and they didn't. And yeah. So they were headed to Southern California. I believe they were headed to Orange County. California was all right. So from what I've heard, she grew up in California, or that she had previously lived there, and they were going to visit somebody out there. And they were driving out there. All right, so let me read what here's True Crime Society's post. Cheatham County, Tennessee. Woman goes missing during a cross-country trip with boyfriend and still missing. Family is desperately trying to find their loved one after she disappeared while traveling across the country with her boyfriend, who is currently wanted out of Middle Tennessee. So he has some warrants issued in like Nashville, I've seen. It's been nearly 3 weeks since Ms. Alcaraz has spoke with her 33-year-old sister. So I guess her sister had reported her. Nikki Alcaraz, also known as Nikki Cunningham. Her sister said, I talk to her almost every day, so I'm scared something happened to them. Nikki had set out in her black Jeep with her boyfriend Tyler Stratton and a dog, and the dog was this little adorable black pit bull looking puppy, to visit family in Orange County, California. It's a trip she's done hundreds of times, she explained. Our uncle is still in Southern California, and she goes to see him often. During their cross-country trip, the couple had a run-in with law enforcement in Torrance County, New Mexico, according to a Torrance County Sheriff's Office report from May 4th. So we're starting with this timeline with May 4th. This isn't when she went missing yet, but this is like the first encounter. A witness saw Tyler Stratton punch Nikki in the face. The report went on to say that Stratton claimed he was also hit with blood coming from his mouth and nose. Since neither one wanted to press charges, authorities said Stratton and Nikki were given rides after Nikki was dropped off in Moriarty. She said Nikki called her, so that Nikki called her sister. She was crying and upset. Her eye was already turning black, and you could tell she was beat up pretty bad. I will show you guys the pictures in a minute. She said she wishes the deputies had arrested both of them, so maybe the couple wouldn't be missing now. I just feel like maybe the right steps weren't necessarily taken, she stated. Shortly after the fight, she said a family friend drove to New Mexico where he met up with Nikki in hopes of bringing her to California. Okay, so what happened here was so the case, I think what she's saying was the kid's dad, like the kid who was her nephew's classmate. Is it? There you go. Okay. Classmate is a girl and grandma has custody. Okay. I know she has a little boy too with Evan, I think. And I think they said she was a mom of two. So anyway, to break it before I keep going on. Apparently they got in this fight and a trucker had seen them fighting and he jumped out of his car to try and separate them and call 911. Well, the police, according to the police report, and this is what somebody from her family said, is that they impounded the car and they gave Tyler a ride to Edgewood, New Mexico, which was just a couple exits away, like maybe eight exits away. And then Nikki was dropped off at a Flying J gas station in Moriarty, New Mexico. She had no money, no car. She didn't have a phone. All she had was like, if she connected to Wi-Fi, she was able to call, but she didn't have like a working phone. So somehow she got a hold of the phone and she called a friend named Danny who lived in South Carolina, who was an ex of hers, apparently. She said she used to be in a relationship. Someone in the family said she used to be in a relationship with him. He offered to pay for a hotel, but she said no, and she slept under a bridge that night. So this is the night of May 4th, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe this would technically be like May 5th, early in the morning. He ended up driving there to help her, and he got her car out of the impound lot, and he took her to the hospital. I believe this is on May 6th. They spent about 2 hours at the hospital, and she wasn't seen yet, so they left. Then she spent the night with Danny at a hotel. And then in the morning, he was going to bring her back to California with him and, just have her drop her off at the uncle's house, and because he lived right by where the uncle lived. Well, she freaked out and said, I'm not leaving Tyler. He'll be stranded. I have to find him. So they went their separate ways. She went off to find Tyler, and Danny went back home because he had work and he couldn't wait. So also kind of makes me wonder if maybe, Tyler could have been mad because she had stayed the night with an ex, I don't know. I just thought, that could maybe be a reason why it could cause some problems. But let me continue reading this post. 1 second. Okay. Let me see. Where was I? Shortly after the fight, she said a family friend drove to New Mexico where he met up with Nikki in hopes of bringing her to California. That morning, they were supposed to leave. She told him that she had to go back and find Tyler because she had a bad feeling, and so he left without her. She believes that a friend was the last person to see her sister on May 6th. So May 6th was the day he left. So she slept under the bridge May 4th, May 5th, and then May 5th to 6th, she slept at the hotel with Danny, and then May 6th, Danny leaves. She believes that the friend was the last person to see her on May 6th. However, Nikki did communicate with her sister via text 2 days later. So May 8th, she texts her sister and says that she was in Arizona with plans to complete the trip to California. She also called another friend, supposedly, who lived in Northern California, and decided she was going to change her plans. Instead of going to Southern California, they were going to go to Northern California. Well, her friend was happy to have her and said, well, let me just track your phone so I know when you're going to be, be here. And then her phone went off. So kind of makes me wonder again, did they get in a fight and she was on her own again and then went back? Or were they both going to go to Northern California? I don't know. And then they didn't hear anything else after that Monday morning. Her phone currently appears to be out of service, leaving her family fearing the worst. And apparently, when they try to call Tyler's phone, it says it is not accepting calls at this time. I don't think she's dead out there somewhere, but it's all a possibility at this point. I'm really scared of that, but I'm praying that's not the case, she told News 2, adding that Nikki has 2 children in Cheatham County. Chatham County? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right, you guys? Is it Chatham or Cheatham? Anyway, the 22-year-old Florida woman said, the fear over Nikki's disappearance has been heightened by some eerie similarities to the high-profile Gabby Petito case. The 22-year-old Florida woman set off on a cross-country trip with her fiancé Brian Laundrie in July 2021. More than 2 months later, Petito's body was found in Wyoming National Park, and Laundrie was found dead in a Florida preserve in October 2021 near a notebook where he confessed to killing Petito. All the stories like that seem to happen and seem to happen more often make it more terrifying, she said. According to her sister, a license plate reader picked up Nikki's Jeep near Flagstaff, Arizona on May 9th. So we have one more day where her Jeep picked up the license plate. But it also makes me wonder, could it have been Tyler texting the sister, or was it actually her? Because she said she talked with her through text, and then it wasn't on the phone. So even though Nikki's family is holding on to hope, they feel as though they have exhausted their search efforts. Cheatham County District Attorney General Ray Crouch told News 2 officials are gathering information from law enforcement in New Mexico and Arizona. He said his office has requested nationwide extradition for Stratton, who has an unrelated arrest warrant for failure to appear on probation violation that stems from a theft charge. Nikki is 5'6" tall with brown eyes and brown hair. She also has many tattoos. The Jeep is a 2013 Jeep Wrangler with a tag saying BGL 3539, a Mama Tried sticker, and camo seats. And anyone with information about Nikki's whereabouts is asked to call Moriarty, New Mexico Police Department at 505-832-6060. And I'm going to show you some pictures, but hey Alex, how are you? Yeah, Lori, that's what I was thinking. Maybe he found out that she had contacted that guy and was like, we're not going to Southern California anymore because that's where that guy was from. And, I don't know. That was just kind of like, I was worried about that because I was like, that would set somebody off, No, South California. Sorry, if I said South Carolina, I meant to say South California. They were headed from Tennessee to California. And then they were headed to like Orange County, California. And then, which is, from what I know, Southern California. And then she changed her plans and called her friend and said they were going to Northern California. This is a picture of her. Well, he lived in California. Okay, so what happened was Tyler and Nikki got in a fight, like a domestic violence fight, and he beat her up pretty bad. And then she called the friend Danny, who was her ex-boyfriend, because I guess they used to live in California, who lived near Yeah, I agree, Toy. She called him because he was the closest person she knew to where she was. And he tried to pay for a hotel for her, like that night where she was beat. You could see, all right, see here, she has a black eye, and then she had a lot of like bruises on her arms right here. And what happened when the police like split them up, he said that she hit him and that he had a bloody nose, and like they both said they hit each other, and neither one of them wanted to press charges. But I'm pretty sure police can just make the decision to arrest them anyways, if there was evidence of them both attacking each other. You know what I mean? even if they arrested both of them, I think this could have maybe been avoided, or but they let them both go. They just separated them, drove him a couple exits away, and drove her to a gas station. And then that guy Danny, she slept under a bridge the night that she got beat up. And then the next night she slept at a hotel with Danny, who had to go back home to Southern California. So he was going to take her with him. He got her car out of the impound lot, and then he was just going to take her with him back to California. Just be like, here, come with me. I'll take you there so you make it there, okay? Because obviously I'm sure he was very worried about her if they're seeing her, all beat up. And then she didn't want to go. She wanted to go find Tyler, so she refused to go with him. And he couldn't sit there and wait, so, he left. Here's a clearer one. She must have had some other problems too, because they said they went to the hospital to try and have them clean up some of her wounds. So I'm guessing there's maybe some other stuff too. Yes. Yes, there is state laws that basically they can literally just make the decision to arrest the person if there's physical proof that somebody was hurt, which obviously there was on both ends. They could have just made, I mean, I don't know how it is in Arizona, but I know there in a lot of places, they do that, like they just take them in anyway for the safety of people. So I guess this guy, Tyler, is not the most upstanding guy. And it seems people don't like him. There was a post by, yep, no problem, KK. I might have said Carolina by accident. I'm not sure. But I could have totally accidentally done that. So this guy named Michael Moss in March tagged Nikki. And I'll just show it. And this is no way to I think this is what the warrant was for, what it was in regards to. It is just my opinion, because I know it was a theft thing. This is no way to try and shame anyone. I'm just showing that this guy doesn't seem like the greatest guy around her. And people, she was diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. Yeah, I heard that too, but they said she wasn't seen at the hospital, so I'm confused. But apparently they diagnosed her with a traumatic brain injury and a broken hand or wrist, suffering from a black eye and extension bruises to her right arm, which is a little scary because if she does have a TBI, something could have went terribly wrong with that as well. But like I said, this is no way to shame anybody. I'm just showing this is, I think, what his theft charges are from, and obviously that this guy isn't, the people are not a great fan of him. But I'm posting this on both of your Facebook pages, so I guess Nikki and Tyler. I've always tried to take care of you and treat you like family. So this guy was saying that he was his stepfather, her stepfather, but he's really not her stepdad. I don't know if it was maybe a boyfriend of her mom's or something, but he was telling people that he was her stepdad, but he's not, from what I've seen that family said. She said, that's why it really hurts me to know that you have taken advantage of me several weeks in the hospital, and I needed you to help me take care of my house. So I'm guessing he was in the hospital and let them stay at his house to take care of it. And they had taken some stuff. Said, why did you have that punk Tyler there? You do realize that he stole my guns in the past. So he stole guns from this guy before. You do, I'm missing my college class ring, a turquoise ring, and a turquoise belt buckle, a new in the box panini sandwich press, and a black plastic box with my tobacco tools, several lighters, and a couple of $100 worth of lighters. If these items are not returned to me, I will forget. If these items are returned to me, I will forget about it. However, if I don't get them back, I will take all this to the sheriff. I'm really hurt that you could be part of this. I really thought I could trust you. So I'm thinking maybe this could be the theft charges he has. I'm not really sure, but obviously people do not. This guy doesn't have the greatest reputation. And it sounds like from the sound of this post, it sounds like he was probably the one who did this, because it's like, how could you have that punk Tyler there? And he said he stole his guns before, so that was like, this guy just, it's worrying, Oh, and here's another thing. So there was another guy, this guy Scott, I believe his name was. Hey, CW. He was, sorry, my voice is still scratchy a little bit because I still have it. It's getting better now, but I had that cough still kind of lingering, but it's not nearly as bad as it was before. But okay, so there was this guy Scott who was with them, and he went to, they got to Texas, I think it was, and he went into the Waffle House to get some food, and they left him left him there and took all of his money and all of his stuff and abandoned that guy there. That's okay. So that is what Evan posted. There's a screenshot of Evan that says it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. But this was before the domestic violence incident, I believe. It says she was traveling with 2 other people. I spoke with the other guy, not Tyler, today. He was ditched in Texas when he went into a Waffle House, and they took all his money and belongings with them. So I guess he had his belongings and stuff in the car, and they just kind of left him there. And I don't know if there was a fight or if they just did that or whatever, but he was, I forget his last name, but I found it in my search for things. Yeah, the night of the domestic violence, she slept under a bridge, but then the next night she slept in the hotel with the guy Danny. So it took him a day. So May 4th to the 5th, May 4th, the DV incident happened, and then she slept under a bridge. And then her friend Danny gets there on May 5th, and then he gets a hotel. They stay at the hotel, and then May 6th, he tries to take her with him, and she refuses. So yeah, it's weird. But the Danny guy is different than the guy from Texas. The guy from Texas was this dude Scott. And that happened before the guy Scott happened before the DV incident. And Danny was an ex, so that makes me worry that maybe Tyler freaked over her staying the night with her ex or something, if he found out. So that worries me. But here's her here's a missing persons poster they made. She's 33, 160 pounds, 5'6". She has her nose, ears, and above her lip pierced. She has multiple tattoos on her arms, ears, hands, and a giant chest tattoo of a heart with a lock and key that says Sophia. Each forearm says mom/dad in hearts. Behind her ear is a board piece to an Ouija board. Behind her other ear has a pineapple. The back of her calf has a triangle and spells abracadabra, up and down. She was traveling with Steven Tyler Stratton and a dog. in a 2013 black Jeep Wrangler with Tennessee plates, a Mama Tried bumper sticker, and camo seats. There's a possibility that the dog is not with them due to a tip that it was running around a truck stop parking lot on Cinco de Mayo around 3 p.m., but has not been confirmed. They were heading to family in Southern California, but never made it. She should have her ID with her and a cell phone. However, she can only use it by Wi-Fi calling. Her last text was on May 8th, 2023. Yeah, they didn't wait for the doctor. So I'm wondering how, if they didn't wait for the doctor, where did she get diagnosed with a TBI and broken wrists and stuff? Like, who diagnosed her with that? The police? Like, did they take her? Because I heard that they didn't even take her into the precinct. Or maybe they did and checked her out and then dropped her off at the Flying J. But she was supposedly diagnosed with a TBI, a potentially broken wrist, and yeah, it is worrisome. But May 5th was the day after the DV incident, so I'm kind of confused about that, because the cops came and they impounded the car. Did they just let the dog go? Like, I don't know. There's a history of domestic abuse between them, and there's concern for Nikki's safety, and Nikki could be in New Mexico, Arizona, or California. But the problem is they don't know if it was her in the Jeep in Arizona or if it was her texting in Arizona. Oh, she bought a phone. Okay. Yeah, I know they dropped her off at the Flying J. They said, I saw where it said that, like, the family member said that it was kind of like from the police report. It didn't sound like she was taken into the precinct. So it was kind of like up in the air. They're not really sure. But they don't believe that. There's a dog. A little cute little black pit bull. So, let me see if here's a picture of her Jeep. Yeah, I seen a little bit of it, CW, and then like as soon as I found out that he had that, and then I had to come live, so I didn't get to see the whole thing. But I saw the beginning of it. Oh, she's a judge, really. So this is the Jeep. It's a nice Jeep. And it has camo seats inside. It was confusing. All right, so I saw up until she said that Danny left. And then she called the friend, or did she call the friend in North Carolina, or did she just text her? Because that's a big deal. Because if she called the friend in North Carolina, which I think was on the 8th of May, then that would be the last time her voice was actually heard and she was known alive. And that would confirm that she was potentially in Arizona. Yeah, it was text. Okay. Which is strange. Like, would Tyler know the North Carolina friend, and why would they be changing? Oh my God, am I saying Carolina? Sorry, California. Now my brain's all in Carolina because KK. All right, sorry. In North California. She called, let me stand corrected. KK was like, did you say Carolina or California? And I might even say Carolina. Now Carolina's in my head, but California. So she texted the friend in North California and said that she was going to come there. It's okay, KK. I might have been off from the beginning. Washington? I heard her say North California. She said she had a change of plans. This is what I wrote down in my notes when I was listening. So when I was listening, this is what I wrote in my notes. A few days later, she was texting a friend in North California saying she was coming there on the 8th of May. I don't know if she texted her on the 8th of May or that she'd be there the 8th of May, but I think she texted her on the 8th of May. And then her friend said, well, let me track you so I know when you're coming. I know. It's... yeah, that's where it's coming from. It's California. And I keep saying Carolina by accident. It just wants to come out that way. I don't know why, but maybe because Tennessee, where she's from, Tennessee is like so close to there. That's why my brain's going there. I don't know. But, so she said, let me track you so I know when you're going to get here. And she said, okay. Text her on the 8th. Okay. And then she said it stopped tracking her. If you blow up her pic under the bandana is all bruised too. Oh, really? And here's another thing I heard. They said in the picture on a crossword puzzle, the word kidnapped was on there, and then it was like, hold on, let me see if it's on the pictures I have. Which I didn't notice, but I was reading what people said, and I was like, what? Like, what crossword? Oh, the picture of her and Tyler. Let me find it. I swear I saved it. Hold on. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that. Where was that? Look. How weird is this? See how it says kidnapped on the crossword behind them? Weird. All right, let me get the one where... Okay. Oh, like her neck was all bruised? Oh, here. Is that why she was wearing the bandana, I guess? Oh, my. I can't tell if that's... Did they say she has tattoos on her neck? But that's probably why she's... Or that... I can't tell if it's a tattoo or not. I think the 9th was when the tracking stopped. I think the last tracking thing they had was on the 9th. Let me see. So on the 8th, she said she was in Arizona and that she planned to complete the trip to California. They didn't hear anything else after the 8th, but I think her phone stopped tracking on the 9th. I could be wrong. Oh, there's a pic with no bandana? Oh, thanks, Anne. I love you too, girl. Let me see if I can find the one without the bandana. You know where I can find it? Oh, well, in the other pictures, she doesn't look like she has a tattoo on her neck. So that is probably bruising. Because, unless she got one very recent. But in all the other pictures, I don't see any tattoo on her neck. But I'm trying to find, like... And now that I'm thinking about it, I do want to check and see if there's any updates with Chase Stafford, who's from the same area. Because... Yeah. Okay, CW, if you can find it, definitely send it. But it doesn't look like she has any tattoos on her neck from the other pictures. Let me show you guys. Look. Like every picture that I just looked at, she has no tattoos on her neck, just the chest one. Like here you can see that her neck's pretty clear. And then it's just those ones that come up. She could have been wearing that. Yeah, she has a full chest tattoo, yeah. Okay, all right, let me check it. If I just Google it, will I find it? Oh, this is the one you sent. Okay, all right. Yeah, so she doesn't have a chest tattoo, so you're right. Unless she got one very recently, but all the pictures they shared, she didn't have one. So now I didn't get to see the rest of Pascal's interview, but okay, it's probably in my what's it called, my message request. So I'll have to go in there. For some reason I can't open it right now. I think because I'm on the computer. But oh, the guy who they left in Texas, his name was Scott Taylor. I did write his name down. Taylor. Because people were saying that she was missing, and then he commented under the post and said she's not missing. I was traveling with them, and they dropped me off, or they ditched me in Mexico, and then they told him, well, now she is missing after this domestic violence thing happened. Oh, crazy Italian lady. Hey, I'm sorry. The chat was going fast, so I missed it, but you can go back at the end and you can say and talk with us and then go back. But so did anything by her mouth is bruised? So no. Well, they said the dog was running around in the park, potentially running around in the parking lot of like a truck stop on the day that Danny got there and took her to the hospital, which would be May 5th. She slept under a bridge that night. So I don't know what happened to the dog, which I'm kind of confused because they took the car to the impound lot. So the cops just, like, was the dog not there when they started fighting or something? I don't know. Yeah, kind of like, yeah, it could be hand marks, yeah. Yeah, true, Greg. That's a good point. If you were showing them, why cover them up in the photo? Maybe because they were hand marks and he was trying to strangle her and she didn't want people to know that, because if people saw that he tried to kill her or something, then they would judge her a lot more for going back to him. You know what I mean? So that could be why she was hiding it, because she didn't want anybody to see the extent of it. I made like a little Google Earth thing. I'll show you guys. Let me just add one more thing. Just like a, where everybody was, like all the different sightings and stuff like that. I just a way I can make like a line that connects them all. I have to draw it. Okay, let me show you. I can draw the line while I'm on, so we could see like everywhere that she was seen. I love making Google Earth maps. Map time! Makes me want to sing the Mail Time song from Blues Clues. Like, here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. All right, so. Hold on. This is Cheatham. I think I'm saying that right. Cheatham County in Tennessee, where the area where she's from, which is the same area where Chase Stafford is from, which I'm going to look and see if there's any updates before I end the stream on her. And then I didn't add the Texas thing, but somewhere in Texas, they abandoned that guy. Yeah, Upchurch lives in Cheatham County. Everyone's commenting, somebody tell Upchurch for both of the cases because he lives literally in that county. All right, so this is where the domestic violence incident happened in New Mexico. And then 2 days later, her Jeep plate was read in Flagstaff, Arizona. Now, we don't know if it was her or just Tyler. Makes me wonder if they have cameras where it read the license plate and could see if he got in the car. Yeah, the map. Oh my gosh, I have a funny story about a map. I'm just gonna have to go on this little rant real quick. But so yesterday, before we left, hubby's daughter, my stepdaughter, she wanted. Okay, so we're at our uncle's house, and then there's this huge hill, and at the top of the hill, there's like a tree stand for hunting, I guess. And then there's a bunch of all these little back trails that they drive side by side, like little car thing. If anyone knows what a side by side is, it's like a go-kart dune buggy type thing. And they drive it all on the trails back there in their four-wheeler. Well, she's like, I just want to go and show you guys these flowers. I guess it's like a field of flowers where we get up there and she takes us down this trail for like 20 feet. And she's like, this is the wrong way. We're going this way. So then we go down a different trail. And then we keep getting further and further. And she's so confident, like, just around these bends, the flowers are right there. We'll see them in a minute. Like, we keep going. There's no flowers. We're like, do you know where you're going? She's like, oh, yeah. I'm following the map. The map that, and my hubby's like, what map? She's like, the map that's in my backpack. Mind you, she had no backpack on. Like, the map that's in your backpack? What are you talking about? She's like, yeah, it's right down here. The flowers are here. So we keep going. We're like, we don't see any flowers. Then we passed honeysuckles like at least 4 or 5 times already. And she's like, here's the flowers right here. And just points to this bush of honeysuckles that we'd seen over and over again. By now, we're like a half hour away. We had no idea where the heck we were. And we really were following her for like a half hour. Thinking that she knew where she was going. But apparently she was following this invisible map that she had in her backpack. And then she goes, do you have Uncle Brian's phone number? Luckily, we had his dog with us who just seemed to know exactly how to get home. And we followed the dog back. It was funny, though. And she was so confident about it, too. Like, she knew exactly where she was going. She was like, oh, yeah. Anyway. I'm drinking my drink. My throat's starting to get a little... Best kind of trip. Yep. So, this is a potential sighting. Somebody was commenting and saying that she swore she saw this Jeep on this road in Arizona because she remembers reading the sticker on the license plate. Hey, Nay. Oh, that's fine. Thank you for listening, regardless, and I appreciate you for saying hi. But yeah, she said she remembers that sticker on the back of the car because she remember thinking, like, laughing, thinking to herself, well, at least Mama tried. So that's definitely possible. It's pretty close to Flagstaff. But my thing is, do they have video of just him in the car or her? Was she the one texting people? Was he the one texting people? And why did the plans change to go from Southern California to Northern California? There was a couple other potential sightings. There was one on I-76. What town is this? Or California 76 near I-15. I don't know what town that is. It says Pala Mesa, but apparently that was another area where she was seen walking, but there's no confirmation it was her. But I did see people commenting that there is like campgrounds around there. I'm trying to see if like a camping area around there. So it could have been her. Is this it maybe? Is this the camping area? There's a lot of like campers. So here's I-15. So it looks like a camping area or where you would, park and stay. I'm trying to see if there's another one. That might be like a parking lot where you can stay. So that's a potential sighting. Okay, Oceanside. Well, I know there was one where she was outside of, they thought they seen her outside of a gas station begging for a phone charger. That was confirmed not to be her. But this is a different one. Yeah, this is the Oceanside one. So Oceanside, this one, was a potential sighting. I guess she was at like a gas station begging for a phone charger, which was confirmed not to be her. And then somebody potentially seen her there. So she could be in California too, which makes this so much more complicated because it's like, is she in California? Is she in Arizona? New Mexico? Oceanside was the last ping of her phone. Okay. There was a sighting somewhere in California where they thought that she was begging someone for a phone charger outside of a gas station, which I thought was in Oceanside, but it ended up not being her. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question, CW. I have no idea. Maybe people who don't really have like a place to live, so they're just driving for the heck of it. But how do you? Well, obviously they robbed people to get that far, but like if you have no money, how do you? That's expensive. Like that's an expensive trip in gas. Like, how do you get that far with no money, no phone? I don't know. It's a very expensive trip. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the rest of. Did I miss anything important in there? Like after, I know I asked this, but I didn't see if. Yeah, I just showed his daughter honeysuckles Saturday. She's never tried one before, so I guess that's why she was like, "Oh, look at the honeysuckles!" Because we were fishing earlier that morning, and I was like, "Did you ever try honeysuckle before?" Because if you ever are walking in the woods, the smell of honeysuckles is like so strong you can't like miss it. It's so strong. That's all you smell when they're around. 1,500 in gas? My goodness. South Dakota from Indiana. And he spent that's insane. He went back in the story. Okay. That's just crazy to me. I'm hoping that she's, nothing happened and that she's just stuck maybe because they don't have money or whatever. To clarify, but it was confusing. Gotcha. Thanks, Grandma Sherry. I appreciate you. I live about 20 minutes north of the Setting in Oceanside and off the 15 highway. So crazy. I really hope she's safe. No way. $5.39, and that's for regular gas. Because my one car takes premium. And boy, do I pay a lot of money for premium gas. I pay like $4.39 for premium. So regular gas, $5.39 a gallon is insane. So, Brooke, so you live, is that highway? Oh wait, that's 17. Hold on. Oh wait, what am I doing? Is this still considered Oceanside, where 15 is? Because they said California is 76 and 15, but when I looked up California 76, it's like, is it this or is it in here? Because I thought like California 76 would be like a highway. Like, is this California 76? That's wild. She was trying not to say anything about drug charges, but slipped up when she went back. Oh, who had Oh, Tyler did? Yeah, I mean, I understand that because it's complicated. When people find out that, like, not everybody, but this happens a lot. When people find out that there's potentially drugs involved or things like that, the case becomes less important to people because it's like, maybe they want to be missing or maybe, they're into something and people don't take it as seriously. So I understand why somebody wouldn't want to bring it up, which, like, it sometimes takes the importance of the case away from people's minds, which regardless, I think if anyone's missing and it's a potential domestic violence situation, it's important regardless. But the reality of it is that when people bring that stuff up, people care less, sadly. But I'm hoping, people, it doesn't happen that way. But it's inevitable when you start looking into the story that there is, Yeah, I think it's Tyler's drug. I think Tyler had charges and he had, from what I've heard, he has some kind of charges. I thought they were theft charges in Nashville. And so they're requesting extradition, like to send him back because of these charges. Yeah, it's important for people to know too at the same time, because it's like, well, this could potentially give insight into why they were here, why they were there, who they could have been meeting with, whatever, but at the same time, people judge. Yeah, man, Miss Anna, people judge. But it is important to know. I think every detail is important to know in cases like these, and I think that hopefully they'll be able to get a hold of him and question him because he does have a warrant out. But it seemed as though, and this is just my opinion, and I don't know for sure, but it seems like she was potentially living like a turbulent lifestyle. From what I've heard, they were living in a hotel before they left. I guess her grandma has custody of the kid, from what I've heard, and obviously I can't confirm all this, but this guy, he has a bunch of, he has like a picture of like hobo. Let me look at his Facebook so I can show you guys. Hold on. just hopefully nobody doesn't care anymore because of that or whatever. Like, people still take it seriously. That's all we can hope. But I think it's important that is out there because, it can help put things in. Oh, good. Brian Etton's on his way. Yeah, I heard News Nation did an interview, or is doing an interview, and I heard the FBI's involved now. So that's always a good thing when the FBI gets involved, because they have much more tools to find missing people. But all right, so his thing, it says hobo symbols, which I've never heard of this, but apparently kind-hearted ladies like this cat. A woman is like a stick figure that looks like it has a dress on. Doctor No Charge is like a I don't know if I can zoom in. Oh, here we go. I didn't even know that this existed or where you find these symbols. Does anyone? And I heard that the Gabby Petito Foundation is also posting stuff, so I think that definitely helped. But sounds like they were living like a nomadic type, homeless lifestyle. But this is definitely the same area where Chase was found. So yeah, I've never heard of it either, Lori. Hey, Nina. I thought that was like so strange. I'm like, where are these from? All right, so if any of you were following, the other missing girl was Chase Stafford. They found her body. I don't know if they. Okay, so it says they don't know. I guess they don't know what happened to her. So in a nutshell, she was from the same area, and she was caught at a liquor store with her boyfriend earlier the day that she went missing, which I think may have been around the 9th too. I have no idea, KK. They always choose. They always seem to focus on any. Right now, this is gaining renewed interest because the police are admitting that they believe she could be in danger. So, I guess a lot of people are like now, like, oh, could it be that they know something that we don't? And apparently, police aren't really sharing. Like, from what I've heard, like about the sightings and stuff, when they had asked about the sightings, the police wouldn't confirm if it was her or not. But Chase Stafford, she's from the same area. She was seen at a liquor store with her boyfriend, and then she went missing. Her boyfriend said that they were around the area of Chapmansboro Road, which is in Ashland, Tennessee. So basically, I did like a Google maps from them. So they would have went to this liquor store and then drove this main highway. I think it was called like I-40 or something, all the way back to Chapmansboro Road. And then apparently, halfway on I-40 from the liquor store to where she was allegedly dropped off is the road to his house. So he would have passed the road to his house, kept going towards her house, it seemed like, because her house was kind of close to where she was apparently dropped off. So I was wondering if maybe he was going to drop her off at her house. And then he claims that she attacked him and started biting him and stuff in the car. And this is Chase Stafford, guys, by the way, not Nikki. But yes, you're right about the other case. Ren, the one I was just talking about, they dropped him off only a few exits down, which is crazy. But so he said she was like biting him and stuff. This isn't the same case, Ran. So it wasn't Nikki who was biting this guy. This is the girl Chase. He drops her off because he says that she was biting him and stuff in the car on Chapmansboro Road, which is about 4 miles from the Cheatham Dam, right? Then he would have had to turn around and go back down I-40 on the way to his house. And somewhere in between Chapmansboro Road and his house, her belongings were found in the middle of the road. Like her bag with all her stuff just strewn all over the highway. Well, they asked him what happened, obviously, and he said that, they were in the car together. She attacked him. He made her get out of the car, but he didn't do anything to her, and that's that. And that she was really messed up. And that he, I guess, threw her belongings out of the window. I don't know. Well, anyways, they found her body like 4 miles from where he supposedly dropped her off, but it was so like, what's it called? Broken down. Her body was so decomposed and messed up that they could hardly even identify her. So I don't know if they're able to find a cause of death or if they're able to figure out if she was killed or what happened, but I haven't heard any updates. I'm looking at her mom's Facebook right now. They had like a funeral and a celebration of life, but it doesn't say anything about him. And I know somebody who was talking to him, the boyfriend said he got like really weird and stopped talking to the girl who was like, it was a friend of his that was asking him questions and stuff. And then when her body was found, he kind of just like got all weird. So I don't know. I really want to know like what happened with her. If was she messed up and just accidentally walked into the water, or does he have something to do with it? But I haven't seen any updates, so I'm really confused on the outcome of that. But here's just to show you guys in case you didn't see it. This is her. That is the guy she was with. That's one of her tattoos. And I'll show you guys my Google Earth thing real quick so you can get an idea of that. But it's definitely she's from the same area as Nikki. And they went missing right around the same time. So it's just strange that 2 people from the same area. But all right, let me show you. It stopped? I don't know. I'm still going. Yeah, I know. It is sad. I'm really just curious of what happened. I'm gonna show I don't know if it did I stop temporarily or something? I don't know. I didn't even realize maybe I had like a low internet problem or something. YouTube has been so glitchy lately at this point. I don't even know. It's been so bad. All right. So this was the liquor store she was seen at, right? Right here. And then I think this is I-40 right here, which is the one way out. Yeah. He has to take this all the way back to get home. And this is where Highway 49 starts. So they would have to take this road and Highway 49. Okay, so this is where Highway 49 meets. So they'd be driving back maybe to Chase's house because it's this way. And then on their way, this is Highway 49. This is Joseph's house right here. So Highway 49 meets his streets. That's where he lives. But if you keep going up Highway 49, it becomes Ashland Highway right here. And then here is where Chapmansboro Road starts when you cross this bridge. So she was dropped off somewhere around here because this is where they had the news report. No, she wasn't a teacher. She was just a young girl who had a boyfriend, and again, they seemed like, they may have been into stuff that wasn't too great for them, but all right, so that's Chase's house. So this is what makes me wonder, was he on his way to drop her off? Because they would have crossed here, like came up here, and would have headed right to her house, But so I guess if he turned on Chapmansboro Road, that would take him on the way to her house. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be on the way to her house if he went up this way. And that would take him right there. So thinking he was on this road on the way to take her home, and he claims that she attacked him in the car and that he dropped her off somewhere. I think it continues down here maybe, but the news report was right here. That's where they were reporting from. All right, so he drops her off around here, and then I guess he turns around and starts head back to his house, which is this way again. And her items were found somewhere over here, like midway to his street. So they found a bag with all her stuff in it. Chase Staff. I think she might have. Hold on, let me see how old she was. Are you asking if Nikki was 33 or Chase was 33? It says her manner of death has not been determined yet. How old is she? Let me see. She's 25. So Nikki, the one I was talking about before her, yeah, Nikki's 33. Yeah. That's what I read, at least, that Nikki was 33. So anyway, but this is just, I'm going over Chase's case real quick because it's in the same area, and I'm curious to see how this pans out because they are in the same area. All right, so anyway, she's dropped off around here, right? Or between here and here, because that's how far the road goes. And then here's the dam where her body was found. And I measured the drop-off area to her body, and it's about 4.5 miles. So it makes sense that something happened around here, but I don't know if something happened with her boyfriend or if she wandered, was inebriated and wandered that way. But I guess they're probably waiting for toxicology and stuff so they can see, if there's any merit to that before we get answers. But I'm going to end it. I appreciate you all for coming, and we'll definitely stay on top of both of these cases and hopefully get some answers. And I'll definitely be back more often this week because I'm not swamped with, I will have a lot going on because we have to frame out a new room for his daughter and do a lot of preparing for that, but I'll still be able to go live and stuff. Yes, thank you, Brooke. Thank you for coming, and thank you for coming, Miss Mad Hatter. I know you're new too. I appreciate. Thanks, Random Man. And thank you, my lovely mods, for doing a wonderful job as always. And I appreciate you all. And I will see you probably Wednesday. I try and do every other day. So, but if there's any, important updates and stuff that comes out, I will be back. Oh, and hold on. Let me share Pascal's interview. He just interviewed a family friend, which I thought was really interesting. And gives it like, some insight on the information. So if you guys want to check that out, thank you, KK. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm super excited that everything's going well with that. So here, let me show Pascal's link. Yeah, right. I hate guys like that, Greg. That's all right, Sarah. I know it's Memorial Day and people are barbecuing and stuff. Oh, and happy Memorial Day, everyone. And just, remember that this day isn't the greatest day for everybody. And there's people who've lost, family members that were, serving our country, and people have lost a parent or a kid, So it's not always the best day for everybody, even though it's a nice weekend to barbecue. And I appreciate everyone that has served our country. And my heart goes out to anyone who lost a family member or a friend. And have a good night, everyone. Bye. It was so nice to have you, Miss Saturn. I hope you come back. Talk to you later, y'all. Bye.